Hello guys, welcome to an XBT new video, and in this video I'm going to give you an update on the price of Bitcoin. So today is Monday. Welcome to another Bitcoin weekly candle close, and today I'm going to continue to show you why the DXY being bearish is actually bullish for Bitcoin. So as you guys can see, we have a new weekly candle close with Bitcoin being able to close $105,784, which means this is where this week closed, and so far we are holding this level, basically consolidating since the new candle opened. This is a level to pay attention because it means Bitcoin is consolidating exactly above its previous rejection. Of course, you're not including the wicks, the sell pressure. And so far, this is where Bitcoin is actually consolidating above the previous candle close, which in my opinion is bullish. You can see last week, I mentioned that after the DXY turned from silver to red, is actually followed by some kind of correction. We analyzed this previously, and we find out that this correction usually, in this case 2017, was in between a 30% correction. In 2020 it was a 20% correction, and so far we know that Bitcoin being less volatile compare cycle after cycle, and so far we have Bitcoin correcting 10%. So I noticed a relationship or a pattern that Bitcoin is becoming less volatile every time the DXY move from silver or switch from silver to red. 30% at 20%, and now most likely at 10%. So we can see that Bitcoin is becoming less volatile in case this correction is already finished. You can see that the DXY is still closing candles below this moving average, orange, which means closing below its own upward channel. It seems like we are basically mimicking this period in 2020, where after the correction, managed to find support and push all the way to challenge the middle of this upward channel. So the only difference is that we are actually very close to break this upward channel, or the middle of this upward channel, and so far 110,000 is the level that coincides with the middle of this upward channel, and this is what we are actually focused so much on, this price level. But the confidence comes from the DXY being so bearish, giving Bitcoin the necessary indication that we are very close to make a move, as there's only 2 weeks left for Bitcoin to finish this 6-month interval that we've been mentioning since the beginning of 2025. We made a video talking about this date, specific date. So 16th of December 2024, we gave you this date. We got rejected around 110,000. We tried to retest it one more time, but failed the move. Got rejected from the middle of this upward channel on this line and start forming this downward channel, a small downward channel. And so far, 6 months, we are inside this interval and breaking out of this downward channel. And there's only 2 weeks left, including 2 weeks left, not including this week. And you can see that we only have a space for another 2 week more, and this interval will be finished. The DXY and Bitcoin ratio, why Bitcoin is in such a important level, why this is so urgent, considering that we only have 2 weeks left to finish the 6 month interval. We can see that the reason why Bitcoin is able still holding so much at 105,000 level is because we don't have enough room to actually play around much longer. We can see that this downward trend line is being respected as we speak. You can see the RSI is holding this level, beautifully. And what we are expecting, well, what we want to happen or next is to the RSI to keep pushing below the 30 level. We are currently at the RSI is currently at 33.25 and holding this downward trend line. And you guys know that for Bitcoin to move upward, we need this RSI to keep pushing down, breaking the 30 level to the downside and coming and becoming green, which would mark the acceleration phase for this bull market. Previously we had this RSI coming, holding this trend line properly and pushing downwards, becoming green, which marked the Bitcoin acceleration. Same thing, 2020, breaking the 30 level to the downside, becoming green, becoming bull market acceleration. And the same thing is likely to happen here. And so we are very close to all this level, break the 30 level to the downside, becoming green, which would mark bull market acceleration. This is what everyone wants. We want to find out if this ratio can push once and for all and at least challenge this yellow downward channel, which will mark the acceleration and potential top. And we want to have to keep an eye on this and see what happens. Crypto fear and greed index, we can see that we are now at greed 62. We know that last week we retested 50, but we can see that we went as low as 45, which is fear, and this is good. You can see that we are actually following some kind of pattern here. If you can see that is a lower low, and what we want to do now, we want to start making higher highs on the sentiment. So we are currently at 62 after retesting 45, and what we want at least is for the sentiment to keep pushing. Anything above 74 is actually great for the sentiment. So this is not happening at the moment because we have this resistance, and this resistance at 110,000 level. And once we actually close a candle, we never close a candle above the 110,000 level. And after this happen, we know that the sentiment is going to switch massively above the 74 level, and most likely keep pushing everything or anything above the 74 is what we need to keep this market moving to the upside. So that's the update for today, and what we need to see this week After, you can see that this week were other correction, but we quickly managed to resume to the same where the candle actually closed 2 weeks ago. So we're trying to preserve the 105,000 level. This is really important. What we want is to see if the market is able to push and challenge this red candle, recover and close above this candle, or just close above the 110 once and for all. And this would give a massive signal on the sentiment and allow the market to keep pushing high. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider leaving a like, subscribing, and sharing this video with your friend and family. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next Monday. Thank you.